Hello everyone. So in this video we are going to see the breakdown of an HTTP request. So this is one of the very important video which will show you what actually a HTTP request looks like and the anatomy of a HTTP request. Why this is important? Because you are going to come across a lot of HTTP requests and responses when you will start your bug bounty hunting journey, as well as when you will do pen testing. At that time, if you do not understand what actually is going into any request, then you won't be able to understand. So before starting with this, let me just show you how does a HTTP request looks like. So as you can see, I'm onto this website, which is testphp.woolenweb.com. Let me quickly capture the request in Burp Suite. So you can see over here, the request looks something like this, which I have captured. So as you can see, there are a couple of things over here. There is a get, there is HTTP 1.1, there is host, user agent, accept, text HTML, something, Q 0.8. There is accept language, accept encoding, connection, upgrade in secure request, and cache control. What the hell are all these things? We should actually know everything of this, then only you can be able to intercept, modify, and play with any particular request. So let's quickly go back to the presentation and understand the breakdown of this particular request. So I have copied that request over here, and let's see what all the things were there into this particular request. So as you can see, the first thing is the get. What is get? Get is a HTTP verb. We call it also as methods. There are different types of methods like get, post, options, head, trace, delete, put, etc. that we are going to see in the further video. Okay, the next is the host, which is the host header. The host header is basically where you are going to communicate the particular domain or the particular website that you are communicating to. And the next is the user agent. So user agent contains the details which are of the client, which is of your computer, your software details, which the server is going to take and identify from which particular target browser the request is coming, from which particular operating system the request is coming. As you can see, it says Mozilla 5.0 Macintosh. It is identified. It is an Apple computer with Intel Mac OS X processor, the particular version of operating system 10.15. It has also identified that. Then Firefox 77.0 version of the browser. The next is accept. So what is accept? It says text /html comma application xhtml plus xml application xml q equals to 0.9 image /webp, then */* again q equals to 0.8. So what actually this means? This means that our browser is expecting for a txt or html or xml in the response that the server is going to send us. Here Q stands for the quality factor. So quality factor basically means that first the browser will accept and wait for text and HTML type of response from the server. Then application HTML XML, if it does not come, then application XML type of response should come from the server, wherein the quality factor should be 0.9, which is 90%. And then if it is not able to serve any of such of the responses, then it can serve anything, which you can see /* denotes. So give anything that you have. The next one is accept language, wherein we are requesting for a specific language, that is English-US. So we are basically waiting for US English. If you do not have that, then give any type of English, which is denoted by (en), and the quality factor should be 0.5, which is 50%. Next is the accept encoding. So how contents are encoded when the content are being transferred from the client to the server and server to the client. As you can see over here, this demonstrates the compression scheme. Next is connection, which says keep alive. So we are going to reuse this particular connection again for transferring of our request or response. The next one is the cookie, cookie header, which contains the chunks of the data. So you remember, cookies are sweet. So this particular cookie also contains some juicy and sweet information. As you can see, it contains CFDUID, which is Cloudflare user ID, which is the chunks of data. Next, it contains UID, as you can see over here, UID, and it also contains SID, which may be some kind of the server ID of that particular web application. So cookies contains the most useful and precious information that holds the maximum severity. The next is upgrade insecure request. The server can redirect to a secure version of the site. So this basically means if the server is responding with an insecure page or an insecure response, then please upgrade that to a particular secure request automatically. The next is a very header, which again demonstrates to upgrade all the insecure request to secure request and do not send any type of insecure pages or request. The last one is cache control, max age 0, which means clients can cache a resource and must revalidate each time before using it. So basically the body, HTTP body can, or anything into the browser can be cached. In spite, do not cache the cookies, or if the cookies are being cached, then revalidate those cookies for particular session to be created again, which is denoted by the cache control. Okay, so now we have broken down the HTTP request. Let's understand each of them one by one. So the first one was host. So in the request, as you can see over here onto the left, the request, the host comes over here and it says www.bing.com. On the right hand side, the definition is something like this. A host defines which website the request is to be made. In this case, the request will be sent to Bing website because the host header contains bing.com. So if you change that to google.com, the request would go to Google instead of Bing. The next one is the method, which as you can see is get on the left hand side. So there are different types of methods as I already expressed. So get is used for retrieving the data from the server, post is to create the data on the server, put is to replace the data into the server or the database, delete is useful for deleting the data, options to see what are the HTTP methods or verbs which are supported, head again acts like get. The next one is the path. In the path you can see get/search. So search is basically the path which you are looking for. It can either be a directory or a page. It can be a HTML or PHP page onto the particular server. So in the above /search on the first line is the path. In this case, we are sending a get request, which means we want to retrieve the /search. So please retrieve the results of search for me. We are basically requesting to the particular server. The next is the query, which you can see q equals to test. So wherein q is the parameter and test is the value of that particular parameter. Remember that in many applications you may see multiple parameters like q equals to test and with a operator that is joining those two particular parameters, query underscore argument underscore 2 equals to the value of that particular second argument, then the third argument or the third parameter and its value. So this way you can see multiple parameters. Remember, parameters are very important to look for, and you should always try fiddling or playing with those parameters, because most of the times you may end up finding XSS vulnerabilities in those parameters, SQL injection, SSRF, open redirect, and a lot of more vulnerabilities. So parameters are very useful to look on and contains a lot of juicy information. The next is the request body. So after all the headers, you can see the request which goes. So it looks something like this. So I have written the request, which is message, I love you all, we are a community. Okay, so this is the request body which is going. Similarly, there comes a response body from the server and it looks something like this. Message suite, we love the community. So this is the response body which is coming basically from the server to the client, which is your browser. Yeah, so I hope you guys understood how HTTP request works, and we did the breakdown of that particular request as well. So I hope you guys understood how you can do this. So thank you.